Hey guys, welcome to Tech Tips. Today we are going to cover Java 8 functional interface followed by what is predicates. Then we will cover what is functions with some coding examples. So let's get started. Java 8 functional interfaces. An interface that contains exactly one abstract method is called functional interface. It can have any number of default methods, static methods, or any object class method. But the condition is only one abstract method is allowed in the functional interface. So here is the sample example of functional interface. We are using it as @functional interface and notation, and there is one abstract method named method. What is predicate? Predicates is a generic functional interface representing a single argument function actually. So that returns a Boolean value. A predicate is actually located in the java.util function package. It contains one abstract method named test, and the test is supposed to take one input and after calculation supposed to return one output in Boolean type. Usually what we see, predicates work with the filters in Stream API that we will cover in our coding session. So let's move to our coding examples. This is the demo of predicates. Here we have one string tech, and this is one example of predicates length less than 10. So let me go to this predicate definition. So this is the functional interface located in java.util.function package, and this predicate is having one abstract method called test, taking one input and returning Boolean value. There are a couple of default methods that are allowed in the functional interface and some static methods that are again allowed, but only condition is one abstract method can be allowed in this functional interface. So that is test. So let's move to the coding example here. So length less than 10 is equal to, so s is the string and s dot length less than 10. If the length of the string that is going to be passed to this predicate less than 10, then the predicate will return true, otherwise false. For better understanding, we use Alt plus Enter shortcut to replace the lambda with anonymous class. Now you will better understand this lambda actually the replacement of this anonymous class, new predicates, and we are overriding the abstract method test here and returning the s dot length less than 10. If it is true, then returning true, otherwise false. Again here, when we click Alt Enter and replace it with lambda back. So this is one example. This is another example of predicate length greater than 5 as lambda expression s dot length greater than 5. In this case, if the length of the string is greater than 5, it should return true, otherwise false. Here you can see the example that string is tech and you are using predicate this one and dot test and passing that string. Now this string is tech and the length of the string is less than 10, then it will return true. You can see here tech string length less than 10 true. The second example with the second predicate length greater than 5. Here using dot test and passing the same text string, the length is greater than 5, but actually length is not greater than 5, it's 4, so it is returning false here. You can see. Now we can discuss about predicate chaining. There are multiple methods are there to perform chaining with the predicates. First, let's go with the AND method. Here we are combining both the predicates in a single statement. This is one predicate. We are using AND method. Then in the parameter we are using the another predicate and calling the abstract method of that predicate with the same string. What will happen? First, this predicate will execute with this dot test and string and return the boolean value. In our case, it should be true. Then the second predicate will call using dot test and with the same string, and it should return again boolean value. In our case, it should be false. After true and false, both will be evaluated using this AND operator, and the value will be false. You can see here text length less than 10 and greater than 5, that is false. Due to these conditions, we are able to get this value. Now let's move to OR chaining operation. Here we are using the same predicates but with the different method. Here there we are using and now we are using OR. The same thing, this will be done with this test and this will be done with this test again, and both of these output will evaluate with the OR operator, and the result you can see here. Text length less than 10 or greater than 5, that should be true because one of the value is true, so they are returning true. So the next chaining operation is negate. What negate actually does, negate actually reverse the output of this evaluation. So let's suppose this predicate is supposed to return some true value, then negate will convert to false and vice versa. So let me show you the definition of negate. This is the default method, and returning whatever value is there, returning its opposite value. If it is true, then returning false, otherwise true. So now we will see how we can use predicates in our stream filter intermediate operator. So this is list name, and we are adding name in this list: John, Kim, David and Lee, and printing this list. You can see here John, Kim, David and Lee. Now we are performing the filter operation using this stream API names.stream.filter and using here predicates. You can see the definition of filter. They are supposed to accept predicate as the instance. That's why we are passing this predicate here in this filter. Again, you can check for your understanding. Press Alt, Enter and replace lambda with anonymous class. You can see here the predicates, so you can better understand what we are doing exactly here. Now you can move back using the Alt, Enter again, replace with lambda. So this is the replacement. So basically the lambda is used to remove this boilerplate code. Now we are collecting and converting it into list and passing back to new name. So again printing. Now the string whose length is greater than 3 will be filtered out, other string will be rejected. You can see the new names will have only John and David because the string length is greater than 3. Okay, so now move to function. So what is function? A function is generic functional interface in Java 8 that represent a single argument function and produce the result. Similar to predicates, function interface is also located in java.util.function package. It contains one abstract method named apply and supposed to receive one input and one output of any type. So usually we use the function interface in the map in Java Stream API. We will see in our coding session. So let's move to the coding example. Function demo. Here you can see function as a functional interface let me go to the definition of a functional interface. Function is again a functional interface located in java.util functions. It's having one abstract method apply and receiving one input of any type and supposed to return output of any type. Functional interface can have any number of you can see default method. You can see here default methods. Some of the default methods are there and one static method is also there. So as the definition of functional interface, only one abstract method is allowed and any number of default and static method can be there in the functional interface. So this function interface is following the same rule. Here we are using the function as a functional interface and using the lambda expression supposed to get one input, that is a into 2. Whatever value we are sending, that is the integer we are passing, and it doubles that value. So the name of the function itself says it doubles the value. There are second functional interface called function, that is actually divide the value by 2. We are passing a number a, integer type, and after operation we are dividing this number by 2. This is the half operation and returning the result with the data type integer to the functional interface. Let me execute this. Now you can see here double function dot apply, because apply is the abstract method of this functional interface and we are passing 5. Here 5 will be the input and it returns the doubles value. It should be 10. You can see here 10. In the similar fashion, there is a second functional interface function half fun dot apply 5. So it's supposed to divide this value by 2. After round off, because this is returning the integer value, it should be 2. We can also perform chaining with function interface. And then in and then, basically the operation performs in the sequence manner. The double function will apply first and the result of that outer function will become the input of the internal function. For example, here double fun apply with value of 5 and doubles the value and the result is 10, and then the inner function will execute with that output, that is 10 divided by 2, it become 5. So now here this is 5. So another chaining operation is compose. So the compose method and the and then method, the difference between both, in case of and then, the first outer function interface will execute or will perform the apply operation, but in case of compose, first the inner function will execute and the inner function's output become the input of outer function. You can see here half fun first apply with 5 and the value should be divided by 2. After round off, it should be 2, and this 2 will become the input of double fun. Double fun dot apply 2, then it should double this value. 2 into 2, 4. That's why the answer is 4 here. Okay, so now there is another function interface method, that is identity. Identity does nothing, it returns the same value whatever we are applying in as a input. Here you can see I dot apply 10, it will return the same value 10. Okay, so now we will see how we can use function stream map. So the same example where we have the list of names, name is John, Kim, David and Lee. We are printing these names simply John, Kim, David and Lee. Now we are using stream API and using map. In map, if you can see the definition of map, it takes function as a input. So this functional interface is taking as input and returning some value. Now you can see the map. Inside map, we are passing the function interface with the help of lambda. Now you can use Alt Enter and replace it with lambda. Now for better understanding, you will see there is new function, two strings, input and output. Apply method, we are overriding it and replacing the name with Mr. Name. Let me move back to this lambda expression. Okay, so now collecting it, and with collector we are converting this same list to the new list, and again printing this list. Now you will see each name will be prefixed with Mr. You can see Mr. John, Mr. Kim, Mr. David, and Mr. So this is the use of function interface. We have covered almost all the methods available in the function interface. So till now we have covered Java 8 functional interface, what is predicates, and what is functions in Java 8. Thank you so much. If you like the video, please share and subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.